Ladies and gentlemen, I want to show you the best deck. Not a deck that relies on 7 negate bullshit or plays during your opponent's turn by popping their field mid-combo like a loser. This is a deck which summons out a boss monster for your opponent to die to, unless they're too much of a coward and scoop out of fear. A deck with strong consistency, huge resource generation, and easy OTK potential. A deck which destroys the illiterate primates playing Brick Eyes and the weeaboos playing Dragon Maid. I'm going to teach you all about sacred beasts. The core of this deck is the field spell Fallen Paradise, a card that protects from targeting, destruction, and once per turn is Pot of Greed. That's right, every turn you get to draw 2 just by playing this deck. Read the art of the deal for more info on how to out-resource your opponent. The even better effect is that since we're immune to targeting, if the opponent uses an effect that targets, they can be forced into destroying their own cards. Then there's Dark Beckoning Beast. He can search literally every card in the deck on normal summon, and once per turn gives us an extra normal if he's on the field. Often we'll search Opening of the Spirit Gates, which adds any monster from deck to hand, adds a continuous spell from grave to hand once per turn, and lets us discard to summon a fiend from the grave. One thing you'll start to notice is every card we have does about 3 things to boost our power and consistency. If you discard a spell, then the summon is free. Or you can discard a fiend from hand and then summon it from grave to get a free summon from hand. If Beckoning is hit by Imperm, you can link summon Almiraj and then use this effect to resurrect, letting you still have the second normal summon and making your opponent feel like a loser. We'll use that double summon on either Chaos Summoning Beast or Dark Summoning Beast, depending on what you have in hand and need to search. If you don't have Paradise or Chaos, always search Chaos. Otherwise, search Dark to have multiple beasts to dominate your opponent. Chaos contributes himself to summon any sacred beast we have in hand and banishes from grave for Fallen Paradise. We need Paradise for our beasts to get dripped out, otherwise they're low energy like Jeb. Dark Summoning needs a tribute, so Beckoning has to be on field to be offered as a tribute, or we discard him for Spirit Gates and summon for free. He tributes to summon any beast from deck and banishes in grave to search them. However, the field effect prevents you from attacking, and he doesn't search Paradise, leaving our beasts vulnerable, which is why Chaos is more important. The sacred beasts are the almighty Ravioli, who contribute a monster to gain its attack. With pentastag, this is an easy out to cook if you have issues with that. I don't. Sounds like a skill issue, TBH. He also summons tokens on your opponent's normal summon. These help link into stag or accesscode for an OTK turn 3, or just give him 5k attack to beat over shit. Either that or they die like all those Syrians Obama's hit with drones. The other is Hamon. He forces the opponent to attack him if he's in defense mode. He also has a continuous spell, Skyfire, which is a once per turn spell trap negate by shifting from attack to defense. You'll notice one effect needs him in attack and the other in defense. Turn 1, I always summon Hamon in defense to protect my other guys from battle, unless I have Skyfire in my opening hand. The defense mode effect is hilarious when some imbecile goes into battle phase, tries to fight my phantasm token, but then instantly ends without attacking like the cuck he is. Finally, we have Urine. He's useless. Well, he can be strong, since Hyperblaze is a once per turn foolish burial of any trap. Then Awakening can return it to hand, so you can easily search Macrocosmos, IO, Anti-Spell, TCAB, Ooh, or any other floodgate if you build your deck around it. I know Sleepy Joe Biden loves to play that because he's lame. I prefer the huge numbers and OTK power. If I wanted floodgates, I'd play Eldritch because he's almost as rich as me. The only continuous trap in this deck list is Awakening, so Urine is almost always summoned with 0 attack, and since his MST effect only works on face downs, part of why Anti-Spell is so good with him, he doesn't help us win. If you are playing that Sleepy Joe bullcrap, Cubic Ascension has a graveyard effect to summon 3 Vijam, who can either be a continuous spell or monster to help summoning the other beasts. And Hyperblaze is a discard to summon any beast from grave. Ravioli Shimmering Scraper makes Ravioli able to attack everything once and gives him 8k attack. With Pentastag, you have an indestructible, untargetable, piercing, multi-attacking monster with 8k attack. Scarper is reusable if you tribute, which Spirit Gates gives you for free, especially if you discard a continuous spell. However, he's ultra rare and a bit of a win more card, so it isn't necessary to make the deck work. Finally, Awakening. With one beast, we gain life every time our opponent summons. With Paradise making our beasts invincible and all their summons healing us, we're invincible. Abaki gives us 1,200 life and burns them for 500. Amazing trade, I couldn't do better myself. With two beasts, it's a one-sided skill drain, with all the same rulings as the original skill drain, so monsters that leave the field during activation are immune. With all three, we get a one-sided macrocosmo, but you can easily win with just Hamon and Raviel, so don't bother trying to play Floodgates, it's boring. There's also Chaos Core and the Fusion spell. They're garbage, which weaken the consistency of the deck by their inclusion. Never run Chaos Core, and the fusions are weak unless you use Phantom of Chaos, Prisma, and Predaplants to turbo them out. In terms of consistency, Piri Reis map is fantastic. It searches everything, including Beckoning, who also searches everything and gets the ball rolling on our plays. Even if you already have Beckoning in hand, it's fantastic ash bait, and we don't lose LP if the search is negate. It has to be at the start of main phase, though, so don't try using it after they negate your Spirit Gates. This also means you can't run Extravagance, which would otherwise be good since we don't need our extra deck. If you have a copy of Arm E-Tile, he gives access to Fusion Conscription, Deployment, Prisma, or other Fusion support things, but I find they're too damn slow to be of use, often only getting beasts into hand turn 3 or locking you out of the rest of your plays. If you drop one from a pack, you can use it, but don't waste your dust on it. Then we throw in staples like accesscode, maxx, ash blossom, called by, cross out, solemn, lightning storm, ice dragon prison, and anything else you want, depending on what decks annoy you. Because our extra is 90% free space, you can even slap in ghost cherries, and then all the UR bullcrap used by meta decks like Sprite or Mirror Jade. Maybe you can't because you're poor. Hillary keeps running Dogma, so I use the fossil fusions. Skull Wagon is a free MST engrave. The one link I always want you to run is Pentastag. It lets you OTK with Ravioli and also is an easy out to cook. For XYZ, Bird of Paradise is fine as a fail-safe plan B. His effect turns him into a one-mat Zeus. This does mean you can't use the effect, but a lot of people have PTSD and just auto-scoop when they see him. The final piece to tie things together is Nemesis Corridor and Thunder Dragon Colossus. Corridor summons at the end of our combo by shuffling back a summoner, then tributes for Colossus in one card. Colossus can banish Corridor to protect itself, and while on the field prevents our opponent from searching at all. If Hamon is tributed for a kaiju, that's a second protection, and if not, he has battle protection. Either way, I always win. As far as downsides go, the obvious one is Mirror Jade. That asshole has a non-targeting banish and easily clears our beasts. A lot of high-level decks have their own answers, so you will struggle once you get to Diamond or Plat. Kaijus and Lava Golem are also a problem, as they are to all decks that rely on a towers to win, and the lack of interaction prevents this deck from ever being a high-level threat. Anything above Tier 2 is stronger, and will likely beat you, except Flow, since Ryza has a target, and all their floodgates are monsters, so get shut down by Awakening. D-Shifter is still a load of horsecock that auto-loses the game, though, so it isn't totally free. If your opponent is able to read and knows to destroy Paradise, the beast can get crippled. Awakening is a floodgate that can stop something like Baron, but Penis Enhancer tributes himself to dodge the Awakening Nagate and can remove the field one turn, then your gods the next. You can probably still OTK with accesscode if he's the only threat, but combo decks like Pendulum or Sword Soul making multiple negates on top of Verte or Baron are a problem. That's why I run maxx and Nibiru. It's only a rogue deck and will never be truly meta. But as far as rogue decks go, it's incredibly strong, unfathomably based, and can easily climb past gold while still being fun. So if you're tired of being forced to play runic bullcrap just to scrape into Plat at the end of the season, try out the Sacred Beasts and stop caring about rank. Meta slaves are hemorrhaging money every time Konami releases a new pack, and the people prostrating themselves on the altar of Sprite or are waiting for Tier 0 Ishizu or Scum, while the Giga Chads who play MILF E have more fun than they ever will. There's a reason people still play Blue Eyes, and it's not just cause they want to breed Abyss Dragon, though I totally would.